problem.
It's kind of like dicey when it's me coming from me, right? Because you have people, you have friends, and then they don't want to feel a certain kind of way. But what you said, I think I could say I do get my support from Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Just that I know what you're trying to say. Like, they should really hold on to moments
I'm like,
and cherish it.
Yeah, because I'm like, the songs with Ace Hood, and when you talk about, the music industry in Ghana, you are one of the very few artists
who's pushing it outside Ghana.
Yeah, so I just want to play a clip, from an interview that I found the other day. Can you just let me hit that?
Stonebwoy is doing a lot that you guys should be like 24/7 highlighting. Like I was saying to say in TV that. That's what these guys are all doing. And I'm also what they are doing. I remember when BET was posting Burna Boy selling out the Apollo. He said the first half will beat artists. You see, because we don't hold on to it. I did it before him.
So that's huge. That's like crazy. For you, a Ghanaian artist, to sell out the Apollo, and it took me, radio presenter, doing my research, and I have Sarkodie on my show. Let me just before talk about, and I'm like, okay, he did it, and it's almost like we don't hear these.
We don't hear. We don't just. It's almost like through
it's not happening or anything. So I feel like we recognize how talented you are. What you're doing, especially not just for Ghanaian music, what you're doing for African music as well. And I think that our Ghanaian brothers and sisters, but it's almost like they don't know what they have, and they should actually just show you so much love.
This minute, you're trying to get me speechless.
Why?
Basically, because everything I want to say is what you're saying.
Okay.
So I have literally nothing to say.
Okay. So interview over.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
What I wanted to say is what you're saying. Is that what it is?
Early starting.
Okay, so let me counterpunch this.
Yeah.
Okay, just briefly before you guys get into it. Number one, he should show us the stats for his YouTube channel. Right? Where are the majority of his followers from? We want to see that, first of all, before he says this. Before he claims, or anybody in Sark Nation claims that we don't support. Let us see the stats of where the majority of his viewers are from. Number one. Number two, we know that a prophet is not without honor except in his own home. It's normal. When you go outside your country, people will give you more fans, but we know you. Anyone goes to Atafre. Do you understand? So, in a certain sense, there's that familiarity there. So, it's not a big deal like that. Number three, how did they market the Apollo show? His team. How did they market the Apollo show? Because you don't tell us that you're traveling, right? Did he tell you that he was traveling?
We saw videos. We did a few stories of that, but maybe he didn't get the kind of.
I think that you should put that on his marketing team.
Well,
that's my counterpart.
The conversations about Sarkodie of late, for me, is a bit worrying because I believe with where he's gotten to, some of these things should not be said about him. Kwame Dazi and I were talking about this morning. I remember some time ago, Joey B and I think Papi Kojo, they went to Nigeria. And the same thing was said, that why don't you guys support your own, so basically there's this mindset in Nigeria.
Who says we don't support our own? That's the funny thing. Who says we don't support our own? If we didn't, how would you hear about them?
That's what I'm getting to.
How would you become Sarkodie, a shatter?
You get me? Without the home fans. You get me?
It wasn't Nigerians that made you.
No. Exactly. So I find it very difficult when our celebrated artists go into terrains like that. When I say like these are strong man terrains. These are industries that even though we are brothers, we are professionally competing with them. And I feel like there's an agenda to make us Ghanaians look bad for not celebrating our own. And for me, Sarkodie had the opportunity to debunk certain things. One, when the Apollo thing happened, I remember entertainment shows talked about it. It was a week-long conversation, perhaps 2 weeks, because it was the first time a Ghanaian did that since what? The 80s or the 60s or so. We talked about it. When Sarkodie says we do not hold on or cherish moments, I do not understand what that means. Because if that was the case, Sarkodie wouldn't have won the Artist of the Decade. Do you know what it means to win the Artist of the Decade? That means with every year all through to the 10th year, we have acknowledged that you have been the best of the best. Samini was your closest contender, but people for some reason gave that opportunity to you as Sarkodie to be celebrated. So when you go to a place like Nigeria and you immediately allude to the fact that, oh, what you said is exactly what I wanted to say. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to suggest to the listener or someone who does not really follow Sarkodie but has heard of Sarkodie? What are you trying to tell the listener? What are you trying to tell your fans? And you see, another thing I want to touch on is Sark fans should be honest. Let's just call a spade a spade. The way he answered the question, it's not how we would have expected him to answer Sarkodie. If Yautog did a mistake like this, we'll come and talk about it. Let's be honest. If Yautog went to say this, we would have been out there castrating this boy. Sarkodie had the opportunity to hold on to that statement and then rebut with something better. Because you could tell that the presenter had an agenda that, what's up with our Ghanaian brothers and sisters, man? When you say that, like, you're trying to say that, I say, we celebrate Sarkodie every day. Sarkodie is the first African artist to win the BET International Hip Hop Award. That's huge. So my question is, how long does Sarkodie want us to?
But they will say BET has acknowledged him. We didn't acknowledge him.
But Sarkodie has won Artist of the Year how many times?
Several times.
He's one of the most decorated Ghanaian artists in Ghana. Not just in Ghana, internationally. We've talked about all these things.
Anytime he's won an international award,
we celebrate it. We talk about it.
We talk about it. The last one, the flow, the hip hop flow award.
Hip hop flow, that was the
when
BET
he said,
award.
go to Ghana for a year of return.
It went so far that Ministry of Tourism even had to
give him an ambassadorial role.
So what are you talking about?
You see,
you know,
so,
I mean, if and I stand to be corrected, if maybe he was talking on behalf of his brothers and sisters, but let's even look at the brothers and sisters.
Stonebwoy, Shatawale.
Even Yautog, now Seka Yautog by a crowd. We celebrated him. Even before BET gave him the Amplified Artist of the Month, we celebrated these guys. So I don't know how much again we need to talk about or celebrate these guys. There's only much we can do. And let's not forget, Sarkodie is not the only artist in Ghana. If Sarkodie goes to America, he wins an award, and Stonebwoy goes to Jamaica to win an award, best believe you are talking about both of them. You get me? You are not the only artist in Ghana, and the sky is way too big for us to just focus on one artist.
Well, I mean, for me, I think that there are a number of issues, that may be underlying here. Nigeria's numbers in terms of their population, we're talking about 5 times, 6 times.
Lagos alone is bigger than
our
country.
Lagos alone, the city alone of Lagos is bigger than the entire Ghana.
That's crazy.
So they shouldn't do those kind of comparisons. They should mind their own business and deal with their own crap that's going on
Charlie,
in their life.
On that.
When you go to Nigeria, just focus on promoting the music. I don't I'm coming just quick before you come in. When a Nigerian artist come here, right? When they come here for interviews, and maybe we are not doing something right, but hardly do you hear our OAPs asking Nigerian artists, telling Nigerian artists, you guys don't get the support you need or whatever.
What's that got to do?
What's that got to do with anything?
We don't care.
Because if Nigerians did not support you well enough to have your music cross over to this side, you won't be here in the first place.
That's the point.
So that whole narrative needs to change. He comes there for promotion of the No Pressure album. I think they should have actually used the opportunity to actually big him up for the things he's done and how Ghanaians have, held this guy up as the poster boy of Ghana music. Because any artist that comes into the industry, any rapper that comes in the industry,
he's a standard.
He's a standard.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Any young artist you speak to, Sarkodie is the standard. So what else? What else needs to be done? Should we build him a statue? Or should we name an industry after him? Or maybe we should name a particular award in the VGMs after him. The best rapper award, we change to best Sarkodie award or something. I don't get it.
They should tell us.
Sarkodie has had one of the biggest support. I even think Sark Nation is a political party.
Really?
They have. If we should go down into the, if we take NDC MPP, the next biggest political party is probably Sark Nation. These are made of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
So what is he talking about? I'm gonna come cry them.
This matter, I think we all would be happy to see our artists soar higher and higher. No two ways about that. And I'm not sure anybody will set out to say that we hate Sarkodie, so we want to promote his music. For what? Radio stations play their songs. Sarkodie, Shatta, all Ghanaian musicians. Their songs are being played on radio, TV, everywhere. And these songs are consumed by Ghanaians first, before any other people. So if you go out there and instead of you being an ambassador for your country by saying that, oh, okay, my people held me down to this point. Initially, at the beginning of the interview, he said that, okay, I could say Ghanaians support my music. But then when he went on and the host was trying to say that we don't know what we have, it meant that we don't cherish Sarkodie. But don't we cherish him? We don't cherish Sarkodie. You know, then he even went on to say that we don't cherish moments. The Apollo was spoken about. You've talked so many feats in this industry that we talked about. So even if Apollo did not have the kind of buzz that you wanted, what about the others? What about the other moments?
Anyway, look, we can go on this till Traffic Avenue time.
So he's still there promoting his No Pressure album. People are still streaming. They should go and stream. But when he's been interviewed, he should let the world know that Ghanaians brought him this far.
And just to add to it, statements like these are made by upcoming acts who believe that
not established
acts who have level. This should come from
you're right.